Hey everyone, hope you're all having a nice day. Today I want to go over my AMD trade for the month of November and where we are so far. So before I get further into the video, please leave a like, hit the subscribe, and make sure to hit the bell notifications as well because I post my trades on a monthly basis. I share all of my trades. This is a live account, real P&L. I don't sell anything, no courses, no Discord, nothing like that. And yeah, it's just trades and profits and losses and just going over my strategy. Pretty much that's all I do on this channel. So yeah, I really appreciate all the support. So yeah, let's get right into it. So AMD so far this month has been very good. We are only so today's Sunday. We're only about a week and a half, about 10. What is that? 8 trading days so far. So we still have, we will be closing this trade on November 30th. So we still have 14 trading days left with this position on. But we are up 249% currently. We're going to look at the charts in a moment. Just to prove that this is real, I'll click on my trades here. You can see I entered these trades. I entered these 3 AMD contracts on 10/31 at 3:54 p.m. I like to enter just before the close and right before the new month starts. So yeah, that's that. So this position's looking really good. We bought these at 447 a piece, and they're worth $15.62. So we're about 3 strikes in the money right now. So it's looking good. And we still have 33 days left on the contract. I won't be running this into the 0DT, of course. So let's go into the charts a little bit. I kind of laid out my rules because I've been getting a few questions on what my system entails and how I go about managing and going along with my trades for each month. So the rules are pretty simple. I try to go over them a lot, but I enter on the last day of the trading month. So in this case, I entered here on October 31st. I enter at the 45 DTE or whichever strike is closest to 45 days. So, like let's say it's the end of the month and I have to pick between a few different DTEs. I wouldn't go after the 40 because that's too close to expiration for my risk appetite. I would go with the 47 in this example, and then I would hold it. So I do that. I pick the 45 DT and then I go with the 45 Delta. Now this is more of a personal preference. I like to go with the 45 Delta because that usually puts you about 1 to 2 strikes out of the money. If you don't feel that comfortable, just remember the further out you go, the more risky the trade is, right? But the more profit potential you can make in terms of percentage gain. And the further in the money you go, you usually have a higher probability of being in the money by the time we close out the trade, but it's really personal preference. If you're feeling riskier, then you would go further out of the money. If you're feeling a little bit more conservative, you would go in the money. And just remember, whichever, even if you go in the money or out of the money, either way, you could still lose money. That's why I always preach that the amount you're willing to risk is what you should be willing to lose, right? Let's say you have $100,000, you want to risk 5% of that $100,000 in a trade. That would be $5,000 of risk. You should expect to lose $5,000, that entire portion of your account. So, be willing to lose the amount you risk. That's a very good rule of thumb. So yeah, I enter on the 45 DT, 45 Delta, and these change, right? Like month to month, I might enter on a 50 DTE and like a 42 Delta or like a 50 Delta, depending on where the prices are. Each month varies, and you'll see as time goes on. You'll see what I'm buying and what I'm choosing and what I'm buying. You'll see over time how that works. And then yeah, it's basically just holding throughout the entire month, right? So I will be closing this trade, like I said before, on November 30th. So, I I hope that the price is where it's at or higher by time, but the price could retrace to 110, let's say, but I'd still be in profit if we came back down. Um, so we're going to be holding on to this trade as planned. You know, this is another point of contention for some people, which is understandable. Let's say like, all right, you entered a trade, you're up 249%, right? And maybe you took on more risk than you know than you're willing to take on, or you're feeling a little nervous, right? You've never made this much money before, or maybe you don't have a job right now and you just are trying to trade to make some money on the side. I would suggest taking profit if you're feeling nervous about the position. For me, the money I have in this trade is what I'm willing to lose, and I followed my back testing, and I found that just holding the trade throughout the entire month over and over and over again for each month over time pays off much bigger than taking profits. But that's not to say you shouldn't take profits. I think taking profits is very smart, very important. So this is where this strategy you could kind of fine tune it to your own liking. If you get into a trade like AMD and it goes up a bunch, and you want to take the money off the table. Take the money off the table. There's nothing wrong with that. Um, Nothing wrong with taking profits. So getting back to what's going on so far, this position is up really nice. So we entered pretty much at the end of the day on October 31st, and right now we're up 20.4%, which is pretty nice. We did have earnings come out, which is so it's kind of interesting how earnings landed on the last day. Usually, earnings for AMD will occur um, right before November, but like it'll happen, let's say like a few days before. So if like we go back to here, what's this day? November 1st again, okay. And then 2021, like October 26th, the earnings came out. And earnings can have a big role in performance of a stock price. See, like 2020, earnings came out on the 27th. So this went up a lot after earnings. It went up 9%. This kind of blew away my expectations. I didn't know the trade would. Like when this happened in one day, my position went into 100% gain in one day. I was not expecting that to happen that quick, but it happened, and it's not a bad thing. But yeah, like I guess earnings can play into seasonality as well, because if let's say the earnings are just subpar, they're okay. Like you could see here, earnings, they only beat by 3%. Revenue only beat by 1.78%. So the earnings weren't crazy, but AMD gave good guidance, gave strong guidance on the earnings call. Uh, which is important. A lot of investors look at the future, or the guidance on an earnings call to see whether or not they should stay in a position or not, or should add on. The performance for the actual month, as long as they're in line, usually doesn't affect much. But AMD did give good guidance, and that good guidance could be a seasonal thing, right? Because AMD could be saying, hey, this time of the year, we get a lot more customer inflow, we get a lot more cash revenue because, for whatever reason, you can make up any reason, but in my honest opinion, I think it's because consumer electronics are very popular at this time of the year. We're getting into the Black Friday calendar, we're getting into the Christmas and the holiday period, so you're going to start to see people buying more computers and graphics cards and whatever AMD has their hands in. They're going to see their sales increase, and that's why they gave decent guidance. Plus, you have AI and all these innovations going on in the background. But that's another reason, another fundamental reason why I like seasonality, because it also takes into an account fundamentals and what's actually going on with the consumer and where the money's being sloshed around. Right, the money's like a pendulum; it goes back and forth. And there's periods where AMD isn't performing, not much customer inflow, not much sales revenue, and then there's other periods where the sales revenue and the profits are much better. And that's where we want to be, right? We want to be chasing the tidal waves. We're not really chasing for the tidal waves. If anything, we're actually setting ourselves up for success with each of our trades using seasonality, because there's a fundamental basis, in my opinion, with the money coming, the tidal wave of money coming towards us, based on seasonality. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today. We'll see how the rest of the trade goes. I'll probably post a video right before the turn of the month. So what's today? Today's the 12th, so I'll probably post a video around Tuesday, Wednesday, and then of course I'll post another video showing my position, and I'll be sure to notify you guys of what I'm going to be buying for the month of December. So let's hope for the best on AMD. Again, if you're up big and you want to take profits, take profits. I'm not a financial advisor. That's not financial advice. But for me, I'm going to be holding. That's my trading plan. That's how I back tested all my trades, by holding through the entire month, and it does pay off pretty well, in my opinion. Again, not financial advice. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching and giving me your attention and time. Again, please leave a like on the video. I'd appreciate that immensely. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notifications to stay up to date and stay notified about my future trades. And again, I'm not selling anything. This is real P&L, real account. I don't know how else I can be more transparent besides showing my personal information and brokerage statements, which I probably won't do. That's not too smart, right? But yeah. All right, guys, have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.